The star of the show 1,000-Pound Sisters, Chris Combs, has been making an effort to maintain peace among his siblings despite the insanity that has been going on. In the most recent season, Tammy and Amanda had yet another disagreement with one another. Chris has received praise from a number of viewers for his ability to provide guidance and ensure that everyone is on the same page during their journey to lose weight. On the other hand, there are Redditors who believe that he has become Tammy and Amanda's errand boy. Continue reading to find out why. 1,000-Pound Sisters. The repercussions of Amanda Halterman and Tammy Slaton. There were some emotional scenes between Amanda and Tammy in the episode of 1,000-Pound Sisters that followed the previous one. With the intention of putting an end to their conflict, Amanda made an effort to apologize to her sister. In addition, she desired to achieve a reconciliation with her prior to their trip to London. Despite this, Tammy did not accept her apology and instead walked away. She persisted in avoiding Amanda to the point that she did not take part in the 5K race, citing her oversleeping as the reason for her absence. During the time when Amanda was getting ready to relocate to Florida, Tammy likewise avoided being on the siblings' prayer list for her. Chris, in an effort to keep the peace, has been making efforts to intervene in their dispute and find himself in the thick of it. However, there are other admirers who believe that his siblings are taking advantage of him. Why does Chris end up being Tammy and Amy's errand boy? There was a discussion on Reddit among some fans of 1,000-Pound Sisters over the potential that Chris Combs has taken up the role of Tammy and Amy's errand boy. According to the poster, they have taken note of the criticism that Chris's wife, Brittany, has received for being out of line and concerned about the fact that her husband caters to his family to an excessive degree. Brittany, on the other hand, has a valid reason to be angry because Chris is required to spend a significant amount of time with his siblings in order to keep an eye on them. As a result, they do not have any opportunities to spend quality time together. Chris has become increasingly dependent on the siblings, particularly Tammy and Amy, to the point where he is becoming their errand boy. This information was included in the poster with the statement, "Allow me to tell you." In an effort to assist, the husband moved in with his extremely repulsive and hoarder parents. After that, we got together. The process of unenmeshing them took us 5 years. Because he has faith in me, we are able to live a clutter-free life in a state that is quite far away. I used to be Brittany. Brittany is someone I like, and she has never given me a reason to avoid liking her. She has my deepest sympathies. As for me, I would feel the same way. I seriously don't blame her at all. At this age, it is not typical for a spouse to be responsible for the care of his sisters, especially if they do not have any disabilities. At the beginning of my time spent watching the presentation, I had the impression that she was quite aloof and impolite. But now I understand it. The members of her husband's family are demanding and unrelenting. I believe that Chris is an exceptionally high-quality individual who takes responsibility for each and every woman in his life. Due to the fact that there are no brothers who can assist him, he is aware that they would be lost without him. Brittany Combs, the wife of Chris Combs, has been praised for her accomplishments. Additionally, Chris Combs' wife was praised for being a badass in another thread on Reddit. I have heard that some people enjoy the way that she sits like a boss and examines the things that are going on around her. The fact that her siblings frequently seek her counsel and show her respect is another thing that many people appreciate. Others, however, pointed out how shady she can be at times, despite the fact that a significant number of Redditors felt that it was appropriate. Chris Combs, a prominent figure on the popular reality show 1,000-Pound Sisters, has garnered both praise and criticism from viewers and fans of the show. His role within the family dynamic, particularly in his relationships with his sisters, Tammy and Amy Slaton, is often at the forefront of conversation. The questions that frequently arise about Chris's role revolve around whether he is genuinely a supportive and loving brother to the Slaton sisters, or whether he's merely playing the role of an errand boy in the drama-filled world of the 1,000-Pound Sisters series. To understand this complex question, we need to dive into Chris's history with his sisters, his actions on the show, and the ongoing struggles that have become the foundation of the family's narrative. Early life and background. Before his appearance on 1,000-Pound Sisters, Chris Combs lived a relatively private life. He is the half-brother of Tammy and Amy Slaton, and like them, has struggled with weight issues throughout his life. However, his story diverged from theirs in a key way. While his sisters' weight issues led to their appearance on the show, Chris's path seemed more conventional, at least on the surface. Chris had lived with his own set of challenges, but his journey to weight loss and health was less documented compared to his sisters. He entered the public eye largely because of his involvement in the lives of Amy and Tammy, who are both overweight and trying to navigate the difficult journey of losing weight on television. His relationship with them, therefore, is integral to the storyline of 1,000-Pound Sisters. Despite being part of the show, Chris is more of a background character compared to the spotlight-focused Tammy and Amy. He wasn't the primary subject of many of the emotional storylines but played a crucial supporting role in the family, stepping in whenever his sisters needed help. And this is where his role becomes a point of contention among fans and viewers of the show. A good brother? At its core, Chris Combs' role on 1,000-Pound Sisters appears to be one of a supportive brother. His interactions with Amy and Tammy show that he genuinely cares about their well-being, often going out of his way to assist them during their most trying moments. His willingness to help with things like transporting Amy to her weight loss surgeries, taking care of Tammy during her health struggles, and offering advice has earned him the reputation of a concerned and kind family member. Supporting Amy's weight loss journey. Amy Slaton, who was one of the show's central characters due to her decision to undergo bariatric surgery, often turned to Chris for guidance and support. In the early seasons of 1,000-Pound Sisters, viewers could see how Chris consistently assisted Amy through her emotional and physical struggles. He was often the person Amy would turn to when things got tough, whether it was about her food addiction, her relationship with her husband Michael, or her health challenges. His support wasn't limited to just emotional assistance, he also became an important logistical resource for Amy. When Amy couldn't drive herself to doctor's appointments or required additional care due to her mobility issues, Chris was there, driving her around and ensuring she had what she needed. His level of commitment to her health and overall well-being reflected his genuine concern for her success, something that many viewers viewed as a true display of brotherly love. Being there for Tammy in crisis. The dynamic between Chris and Tammy Slaton is more complicated, but it also showcases another side of his character. Tammy's weight struggles have been more severe than Amy's, with her health deteriorating rapidly throughout the seasons. Chris has stepped in several times to help her when things seem dire, such as offering advice during her moments of vulnerability, ensuring she attends medical appointments, and showing up when Tammy needed moral support. One of the most telling moments of Chris's good brother persona comes from his reaction to Tammy's health scare when she was placed in a medically induced coma. Chris was visibly worried, and his concern showed a side of him that suggested he genuinely wanted to see his sister succeed. He didn't shy away from showing that he was deeply affected by her situation. His role during these crises painted a picture of a brother who genuinely cares and wants to help. Furthermore, Chris showed a more active role in helping Tammy during her weight loss efforts. On multiple occasions, he has offered advice and even been the one to encourage her to take action toward getting healthier. This level of engagement is not typical of a mere bystander or errand boy, and suggests that Chris wants to see his sisters succeed not only in terms of their health but also in the broader scope of their personal growth and happiness. Tough love versus overstepping? While Chris's involvement is largely positive, there are moments when his approach to Tammy's issues veers into tough love territory. Some fans have noted that while he offers much-needed advice, there are times when he seems overly critical or harsh. This is especially true when Chris confronts Tammy about her reluctance to take responsibility for her health. While his blunt remarks can be tough to digest, they come from a place of concern. Chris is deeply frustrated with Tammy's inability to take the necessary steps to change, which leads to moments of tension between them. In these instances, Chris's role as a supportive brother is challenged, as it sometimes borders on the territory of overstepping his boundaries and making Tammy feel even more defeated. While his delivery could be more gentle, it's clear that Chris is acting out of genuine care. His criticisms stem from a place of wanting his sister to take her health seriously before it's too late. Many viewers sympathize with Chris's frustration, acknowledging that his criticisms, though harsh at times, are rooted in his love for Tammy. In this light, his actions demonstrate the care and tough love often needed in a family with members who are struggling with deep-seated issues. The errand boy narrative. On the other hand, there is another narrative that paints Chris as more of an errand boy rather than a supportive brother. This view is fueled by the idea that he often seems to be taking on more logistical responsibilities, running errands, driving his sisters around, or taking on chores that might seem beneath the other family members. The question here is whether Chris's role is simply that of someone who is being used by his sisters as a support system for their day-to-day needs. It's hard to ignore the fact that at times Chris appears to be the one doing most of the heavy lifting in terms of taking care of his sisters. He often takes on responsibilities that seem to go beyond simply being a brother, which leads some viewers to wonder if he's more of an errand boy than an active and engaged family member. In one particular season, Chris was frequently seen picking up groceries, running errands, and doing tasks that others could have easily done themselves. This routine could lead to the perception that Chris's role is to serve as a caretaker for his sister's daily needs rather than just being a supportive family member. Additionally, Chris's frequent willingness to drop whatever he's doing to help his sisters has led some viewers to question whether his role as a brother is truly as altruistic as it seems. Is he simply fulfilling his duties as an older sibling, or is there something deeper at play, perhaps a sense of obligation or a desire for screen time? A complex dynamic. In reality, Chris Combs is likely a combination of both roles. He is certainly not an errand boy in the traditional sense of the word, but the dynamics of 1,000-pound sisters do require him to take on tasks and duties that go beyond just being a supportive sibling. While he often seems to be helping his sisters with their immediate needs, his intentions remain rooted in love and care. Chris's role on the show underscores the complexities of sibling relationships, especially when complicated by health issues and personal struggles. It's not easy to navigate the delicate balance between helping and enabling, and Chris often walks that line throughout the series. He is there for his sisters, often going above and beyond, but there are moments when his actions could be viewed as overextending or even enabling. Whether Chris Combs is viewed as an errand boy or a good brother ultimately depends on one's perspective. On one hand, he is undoubtedly a supportive family member who strives to help his sisters in their times of need, offering both emotional and practical assistance. On the other hand, there are moments when his willingness to take on more responsibility could be interpreted as him being used or taken for granted. In the end, Chris's character on 1,000-Pound Sisters provides an interesting and multi-dimensional portrayal of family dynamics. He is more than just an errand boy, though he occasionally plays that role. At his core, Chris is a brother who cares deeply for Amy and Tammy and is doing what he can to help them navigate their personal struggles. The complexities of his relationship with his sisters add depth to the show and remind viewers that family, no matter how complicated, often requires sacrifice, understanding, and a lot of love.